Do your own research and due diligence before investing in any company. The information I provide is in no way or manner a professional suggestion to purchase shares in any publicly traded company. I am not licensed to provide financial advice, and this should be considered entertainment. These stock profiles are intended to be trading ideas, a starting point for research. Any individual who chooses to invest in any securities should do so with caution. Investing in securities is speculative and carries a high degree of risk. You may lose some or all the money that is invested. Always research your own investments and consider consulting with a registered investment advisor or a licensed stockbroker before investing. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. It's your boy Sal, man. We back on the air. Back on the air, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. And I don't know about you guys. I had to throw the list out practically from yesterday. I had to practically throw the list out on the biggest gainers today. There is not a single stock from yesterday's list that's on there today. I mean, you want to talk about switching the game up. That's basically what's happened over the last, 24 hours. We have a completely new list of stocks. What's going on, everybody? New people, old people in the chat room. What's good, everybody? Kenny Campbell, Astro Consciousness. North Harris College, Jeremy Pickett, Money Stay Woke, About My Money. Craig G, what's good, man? Mag3690, I'm going to get it right. All right, what's going on, Telly? Hey, man, that's why you're here watching us, man. We're going to help you get to where you need to be, man. SCON running after hours, $2 to $3.31. Bill Betts, what's going on over there? Jorge M. R.W. Perry, what's good, man? What's going on, Gerardo? Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and get the show started here. Right now, as we speak, Mitt Romney is meeting with Donald Trump. I guess they're having some kind of dinner. I believe the dinner tonight is to seal the deal. Mitt Romney will be Secretary of State of the United States of America. I believe that. Today, Donald Trump announced that the Secretary of Commerce will be a 17-year veteran of Goldman Sachs. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been bamboozled if you thought Drain the Swamp was real. You've been bamboozled. This is about money. And for those of you guys who are watching me right now, you are at the right place at the right time, because there's an incredible amount of opportunity that's going to occur over the next 4 years. Do you understand me? If you have never made $1 in your life, you are going to have the opportunity to make more money in the next 4 years than you ever had in your entire life. That is a fact. These guys will manipulate America's economy to benefit individuals who do what we do: stock and real estate speculation. And if you're not in that game, you will lose within the next 4 years. So you better find something to do within that realm, because if you want to win, that's going to be the only way to win. Let's go ahead and get the show started, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Sal, episode number 87. Let's get it popping here. Let's get into the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me. And I'm just keeping it real with you guys, man. Just keeping it 100 with you guys. You're in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. Okay? And when we look at some of the biggest gainers on the market today, of course, top of the list right now is MBOT, Microbot Medical. They had a reverse split, so that's pretty much out of the bag there. 691% gain. Obviously, it wasn't a legit gain. It was all a reverse split that was enacted today. So the true biggest gainer today was a 63% gain by ticker symbol GENE, which is Genetic Technologies. Now, Genetic Technologies, overall, a pretty sleepy company. I mean, this stock really doesn't do anything. If you look up the chart, for the most part, it hasn't done anything. The news today caught the market really off guard. That's why, it hadn't done anything. It was pretty much one of those penny stocks that was just dead for God knows how long. When you spread the chart out, in fact, in 1 year, it's been pretty much a dud. So for this news to come out that, hey, they're actually doing something here, woke up a lot of investors, I think, who were just kind of looking for a trade. All right. I honestly think they were just looking for a trade, and it happened today with GENE on this licensing deal. Huge licensing deal that came out before, I want to say it came out before the market opened. Just before the market opened. I don't think this was yesterday. All right, because I think we would have caught it on the show, but it came out just before market opened, obviously, and the stock practically doubled on this licensing agreement. The high of the day was actually 287. The stock cooled down significantly from that high, and that's why the first 30 minutes of the day is so dangerous, man. The first 30 minutes to a 1 hour is so dangerous. You can really get caught up there, and I think some people honestly did get caught up there in Gene because they expected it to go a lot higher. And, when you look at the stock, it did kind of look like, it would have continued going on. It would have continued going on. But as you can see here, even the RSI would have showed you some weakness that was developing in the stock toward the end of the first hour. But Gene, will this be a multiple day runner? We'll see. We'll see what will happen with that and whether or not that's going to be a multiple day runner. Because I thought RXMD was going to run significantly today. That was supposed to, be a huge play for that RXMD. And sure enough, the stock went sideways today. So obviously the market felt that RXMD yesterday had kind of did its thing. Now, sure enough, in fact, when we look at RXMD, it was kind of back to its old ways, very light volume, very, actually, no, that's not the, was that, hold on, was that, that's not the, what was no, I don't think that was the one I'm thinking about, PZRX. All right, there we go, PZRX, I thought that was going to run today. That stock gave it all back today. So I was really disappointed in seeing PZRX open up showing weakness. I mean, the stock really opened up showing weakness, and sure enough, it gave away practically it all back today. Now, toward the end of the day, there was some buying here, which looks like sympathy buying towards the end of the day, but very, very weak overall in PZRX. And that really, was really interesting because, again, although it did have somewhat of a, I wouldn't call it a weak catalyst, but definitely the weakest version of an FDA catalyst, I didn't expect a 20% downside to the stock today. That's pretty strong. I think this stock sent a really strong sign to investors there. So again, Gene was the big runner today. GENE, big runner today. But again, we gotta, we talked a little bit about this yesterday, but we gotta talk about this today again. AMD. We all know that AMD, NVIDIA, obviously, if you can afford it, go with NVIDIA because, NVIDIA is killing it too. Don't get me wrong. They're killing it in their own way. All right. But AMD has been knocking it out the park, man. AMD has done amazing over the last several weeks. This has been an incredible run. Okay. AMD, the high of the day today was $9.23, which was its 52-week high. All right, so now that's the new ceiling, and I honestly believe it's going to attempt to break through that. I honestly believe that. 923 today was the high, the 52-week high. This stock is up almost 400%. Almost 400%. Let me fix that. Appreciate that. Thank you for letting me know. There it goes. Is that better? Appreciate that. I need to watch the little thing better. There you go. That's better. There we go. Is that better? That's much better. Yes, I did. The prank guy teaching you how to prank. Yes, I did doubt GLBS. Sure enough, we'll talk about that in a second. I did doubt GLBS, and GLBS ran incredibly hard today. That was awesome. AMD, again, will attempt to try to break through that 923 52-week high touch today. The stock is up almost 400% from recent lows. All right, almost 400% from recent lows. Look at that 1 year chart, man. That's insane. That is insane 1 year chart in AMD. Look, if we were talking at the beginning of the year, in fact, you can Google some of the articles at the beginning of the year, literally talking AMD possible bankruptcy. There was bankruptcy talk at the beginning of the year in AMD, and look where we are now, over 800%. Actually, we're higher than that. I mean, let's say 450 plus, 450 plus percent from where we were. 52-week low of $1.75. So actually, probably higher than that. I'm not good at math. I let the computer do the math. I let the computers do the math. But insane gain in 1 year in AMD. This stock has probably created a millionaire somewhere. They're creating millionaires with the options on it alone. A $9 call on AMD 2 weeks ago was going for literally nickels, less than a nickel. And now you can't buy an AMD call, I think, for less than $1 right now at $9 if I'm right. All right. But 2-3 weeks ago, you could get that shit for literally 3-4 cents. It's absolutely insane what's been going on with AMD. All right. Absolutely insane tear today. We had a graduation today. A graduation doesn't happen too often. Here, but shout out to AQN. AQN, let me see, actually had a graduation today. The stock was an OTC graduation to the New York Stock Exchange. So shout out to AQN. And, when we have a graduation, I always give props, man, because we know the OTC is the ghetto. The OTC is a rough place to play, and AQN was a Canadian stock. It was a foreign stock listed on the OTC markets, and congratulations to OQN today for moving on to the New York Stock Exchange. Just a little bit about the company. OQN is a $5 billion North American, and it does have Canadian roots though, diversified transmission and distribution utility. All right, let me lower this. That sounds loud as hell. The distribution business group provides rate-regulated water, electricity, and natural gas services to over 560,000 customers in the United States. The Generation Business Group owns a portfolio of North American-based businesses involved in wind, solar, hydroelectric, and natural gas-powered generating facilities, representing more than 1,300 megawatts of installed capacity. So congratulations to AQN, Algonquin Power and Utilities, man. So shout out to them, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate that. Yes, indeed. Congratulations. On to bigger and better things. AQN. Yes, indeed. On to bigger and better things. So going through the list here, other than that, let me see here. One of the biggest, more of the biggest gainers on the street here. Oh, and I got a really great source for you guys today, too. I found a really awesome site today. You guys want to know, and I think you guys are going to love this. I've got a website here that's going to tell you, and it's pretty accurate, the complete list of all the food stocks on the New York Stock Exchange, the complete list of all the utility stocks on the New York Stock Exchange, the complete list of all the hotel stocks, the automakers, apparel stocks, the complete list of all the advertising stocks, the railroad stocks. This site has gone out of its way to literally organize these lists of companies by, and now you can say, well, you can get it on the scanner. Well, to get a list, to go straight to it without having to log on to a broker, it's great. It's absolutely great. I'm going to give you guys the tools to that, and we're going to give you the link, and you guys are going to love that website. I think you're going to love it. You're going to absolutely love it. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. The prank guy teaching you, how do you feel about URRE? Is Bad Scientist in the house? I don't know if Bad Scientist is in here. But Bad Scientist, he called up and he talked about UREE. Funny you bring that up, man. That was actually one of his plays that he brought up a couple days ago. And here's the 5-day chart in UREE. And we talked about uranium here on the show. And, you know, the stock moved really, really aggressively today. And it didn't have any news. That's the only thing that bothered me. So if you saw some news on it, let me know. But I didn't see any news to justify the move. Let me see here. I didn't see any news. Let me see. URRE. I didn't see any news to justify the move. Because I do see the results from third quarter, which was almost a month ago now. But I don't see the news that moved that. So why did it move? Who knows? But hey, green is green wherever you can get it. 18% gained on the stock today. 18% gained on the stock today. So shout out to them over at URRE and investors over there. So I can't, I can't say this is a stock that's going to, continue to move aggressively here. I don't see it in the, the chart looks pretty nice. And again, the chart, this has been one of those Trump winners. People can say it's earnings, but the earnings were horrible. As you can see there, the earnings were horrible. The stock is losing, the company's losing a ton of cash. It's literally hemorrhaging cash. The stock is hemorrhaging cash, but as you can see here, this is the day after election day, November 9th. The very next day, actually crashed on the 9th, and then the very next day found some kind of floor to bounce off there, and that's where it's been doing ever since. So another one of these Trump runners, URRE. What it could do under a Trump presidency, I'm not sure what, but hey, I'll take it. Nice move for URRE today. All right. OCLN, that's it's you telling me, Jeremy Pickett, that's exactly what they need to do. This is a company that's doing the right things. They're legit. They're actually trying to make it happen. But OCLN, they've got to go out there and they've got to hire somebody to move this stock. If you don't want to come out, and I've sent them an email, hey, have somebody come on the show, we'll ask a couple questions. These people are afraid that, I'll come out there and expose them or something like that. Come on, ask a couple questions. Answer a couple questions. Talk to people about your business. All right. There's no other show right now on TV, for that matter, or online, where you can go and talk about stocks that we talked about on this show, man. So why these companies don't reach out and say, hey, we want to be on your show and talk about our business and what we have to offer investors, it's beyond me. But hey, slowly but surely a bird builds his nest. So one branch at a time, we're continuing to build the show. I'm continuing to build the brand. And slowly but surely, we're going to get these companies in here to speak to us, to talk to us about what they can offer us in terms of the, getting on the, bandwagon of being able to hopefully become wealthy and watching one of these companies do what, AQN did, eventually one day going up to the New York Stock Exchange. All right. CVSI, man, I don't know, Mr. Lloyd, if you're still watching or not. We talked about this, yesterday, Mr. Lloyd, that if there was another red day in CVSI, you were going to get out of here. So if you're watching, give me a call. I really hope you got out the stock, man, because, this can't continue on. This just can't continue on. I don't think there was, I think there was like one green stock that MJ stock that ran today. But other than that, it was pretty much a dud. In marijuana, which I'm, of course, not betting against at all. But overall, didn't necessarily, move today that we thought it could move. Or, but again, you're not going to have green days every day. All right, we take the basket of days and seeing what happens towards the end of those days. What is that? The $15,000 promo that was in GRCU. That $15,000 promo, GRCU, actually wasn't too bad. Let me see here. That we told you guys about. It actually wasn't GRCU, it was GRSU, but GRCU, what is GRCU? Found the stock that I didn't know about here. GRCU, I'm going to come back to that in just a second. It was GRSU. I didn't play it. It's so funny because Insider Financial did a great job on their previous promo, but this one, not much of anything here. GRCU pretty much a dud out the gate for pretty much. So it looks like Insider Financial may have burnt out their list, but GRCU didn't show up for them today at all. Pretty much a dud throughout the trading day, although huge volume. I mean, they moved 1.9 million shares, but as you can see, that 1.9 looks like came from mostly the insiders in on the pump and not necessarily people buying up the stock. So GRSU pretty much a dud out the bag, but GRCU, going back to that, what is that? What is that? What type of company is this? GRCU. Put in the wrong ticker, and that's how sometimes it happens, guys. You put in the wrong ticker or something that looks close to it, and then you find something interesting. All right, never mind here. Looks like it's out of compliance anyway. Out of compliance. Looks like they haven't posted. Actually, it's not. Well, I wouldn't call it out of compliance yet. It's at the yield, so it's not too bad. GRCU, Green Cures and Botanical, development stage company that wholesales and retails hemp infusion, nutritional, botanical, sports, and body care products. The company is currently web-based and focuses on online retailing. All right. Well, I'm at the website now. It looks like shit though. I don't like it. I don't know what kind of retail that's going on here. Out of a website that looks like this. All right, website still looks kind of horrible. I'm not a big fan. Analysts put a strong buy on URRE Bill Bets. Okay, I'm definitely going to watch that. And again, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to follow a lot of these stocks, not necessarily the penny stock ones, but a lot of the NASDAQ penny plays, and you want to listen to company announcements and all that stuff, you can turn into marketbeat.com. Don't go now and watch the show, but marketbeat.com is one of my favorite websites if you want to listen to actual calls by the company. They're all listed on the stocks on the that website. If you go and I actually have a video on that as well. I have a video on that on my channel. All right, I saw somebody pick up DRAM. What's going on with DRAM? Money Stay Woke. What's going on with DRAM? 33% today on what? DRAM finalizes agreement to acquire U.S. Gold Corp. Why? All right. The who, what, where, and why. What's the why now? DRAM. It's really interesting you see this. This is kind of one of those plays that was like a Tesla Sun City kind of deal, where they go out and get another company that sources a product they need. So why DRAM would go out and buy U.S. Gold Corp? I'm interested in finding it out. I'm pulling up the article now. DRAM is an independent manufacturer of memory products and provider of performance solutions for computers. And it looks like they will acquire all the outstanding shares of U.S. Gold Corp and their subsidiaries. The original agreement was entered back in June. All right. And I'm just trying to figure out a reason why maybe. U.S. Gold Corp owns the Copper King Project, an advanced stage gold exploration project based in Wyoming, which owns certain mining leases and other mineral rights in the Silver Crown mining district of southeast Wyoming. Okay. Let me see here what the CEO stated. While there's always risk in critical activities, DRAM remains fully committed to acquiring U.S. gold. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, but what's the reason? What's the reason, guy? Conjecture, we remain focused on strategic. You see that this is what I'm reading, the CEO's statement. This is what pisses me off. I understand you're excited about the company, but how does this improve shareholder value? How does this improve shareholder value? You're a memory company buying a gold silver exploration company. I can see somewhat of a reasoning behind that, but how does it affect your immediate business needs? How does it affect your immediate business needs besides adding debt to your company? That's very, very frustrating. What's going on, Three Hooks? Many of these products are being built using gold. I'm well aware of that. Money stay woke, but we're looking at a decline in gold prices. Now you're buying assets that could be a lot cheaper, significantly cheaper, anywhere between, 9 to 18 months from now. They could have possibly gotten the company for half the cost. So that's not, that kind of disappointing to me that they didn't explain how it's helping their bottom line right now. How is it going to help the company right now? But hey, the investors love the deal. 35-cent gain today, 33% on the price. Investors love the deal, but I'm going to tell you this right now, it's not going to stay up there. It's not going to stay up there. All right, it's not going to stay up there. So look for, and it's a perfect short too. I mean, it's just over $1. It's just over $1. You can buy a ton of shares. Trades on the NASDAQ. Very liquid today, very liquid tomorrow as well. Investors, the shorters are going to eat this alive. They're going to eat this alive tomorrow. They're going to eat this alive tomorrow. You guys know it. Let's see what happens with that DRAM today. So I'm actually going to put that for me to watch tomorrow because I might short this myself. All right. Everybody's talking about ZSAN. What was that about? Zosano Pharma Corp. 14-cent gain today, 18%. I believe this was on the biggest gainer list today as well. ZSAN. Were they on the list? They were on the list. Okay, I think they were 9th. Zosano Pharma Corp. What moved that stock today? Let's see. All right, announces the completion. What is this? Non-strategic asset? A non-strategic asset sale that took place, like 7 days ago. Now, they're a emerging central nervous system company focused on providing rapid system relief to patients using the company's proprietary delivery system. All right, so they sold, it's Rana Pharma sold the interest in Zosano Inc. for a purchase price of $225,000. All right, for the common stock of Echo Planet Corp. Echo Planet Corp. Okay, it's an interesting deal. A little playing with things there. Little financial play with there. I'm not sure what they did with that. The Cure Act. What is that about? What about pharma stocks as the Cure Act might be passed tomorrow? The Cure Act is $6.3 billion act by Congress for cancer cures. Well, has the Cure Act listed who's possibly going to get a piece of the money? Who's going to get a piece of the money? All right, I see a New York Times article on the Cure Act. If you know something about it, call me up, man. If you know something about it, call me up, 305-600-2896 if you want to tell the people about it. I don't know too much about it. $6.3 billion measure aims to cure ailing healthcare policies. All right, the bill is known as the 21st Century Cures Act. And what is it about here? It's a bipartisan measure. Let me see here. The bill, which is voted, it's a fast track to the White House. It plans to be signed by Barack Obama. Let me see here. Is expected to help benefit the field of immunotherapy, a promising treatment for cancer, and in the study of the brain, which could bring discoveries on Alzheimer's disease and mental illness. The FDA is expected to receive $500 million, in part to help beef up its staff. Oh, great, more fucking regulation. All right. The agency has objected to the claim that it is slow to approve drugs. It is very slow to approve drugs. Go look at ZFGN. Go look at all the list of companies that have tried to make things happen, but the FDA is fucked them over. All right, interesting article here. I'll share with you guys in the chat room. But yes, the bill does include billions in funding, and a lot looks like several hundred millions of dollars is set aside from sales from Strategic Petroleum Reserve. All right, so but it doesn't list who's going to get the money. I see, or how they can go about getting some of that money. How they can go about getting some of that money. Obviously, you know, more information will come out as the plan kind of develops. As the plan, you know, kind of develops. What's going on, Mace? Will ZSAN run tomorrow? It possibly could, man. It possibly could. Again, you know, it's a very, very strong catalyst. But I would have loved to see and hear some names being mentioned. You know what I'm saying? Or at least some details so we can find out what exactly is the criteria, you know, for companies to get some of that money. Because if these small companies like Zosano can meet that criteria, then sure, they would run on that. They would absolutely run on that. Yeah, Dwayne, we're actually selling some of the tax money we're getting from our Strategic Petroleum Reserve, because obviously, you know, the oil can't sit there forever. We got to sell some of it here and there and replenish it. All right. Yeah, the FDA is horrible. The FDA is absolutely horrible. Many companies, I mean, I can list them off the top of my head, have been crushed by the FDA. Hey, you know, oh, I think you guys need to go back to the drawing board, ZFGN. Oh, I think you guys need to MSDX. I mean, we can go on and on and on. We can go on and on and on. All right, but watch ZSAN. I'll put it on the list for tomorrow. But again, man, today, everything was nowhere near what we thought we could be. I think the only stock that I see that's on the biggest gainer list that was even mentioned in the room yesterday was the ship stock. Was the ship stock that I thought shit wouldn't have a chance at running again today. So are the shippers back or what? You know, you know, when you're putting up 46%, what's going on here? Unknown number, you're on the air. Unknown number, are you there? All right, unknown number. Okay, I just can't stand people.
Get out of here, you damn nigga!
All right, you just want to hear me breathe. Take care. All right, so going back to it, let's see here. Going back to it, ZGBY has a very bullish pattern. Let's see what, but you know, let's talk a little bit about GLBS though. GLBS, the shipping stock, that was running because NASDAQ scheduled a resumption because it halted it a little bit yesterday, didn't it? It halted the stock, I want to say almost 2 times yesterday. It halted it, I think 2 times yesterday. You know, so GLBS running like crazy. And, you know, these shipping stocks get so aggressive, man, that, you know, I just don't know whether or not this is legit or not. But sure enough, if you guys have trading view, you know, I love how you can see the visual representation of the buying here. As you can see, heavy buying toward the noon, which really exploded that. And then pretty much for the rest of the day, kind of cooled down. But GLBS started off really slow. I mean, volume for the most part was pretty slow for the morning because it was halted, as we say. But, you know, finally started coming through. And the buying resumed rather aggressively. The stock got overly hot, cooled down for a 46% gain in the stock, man. It got halted today, too? Oh, wow, great. So GLBS, and there he goes. You know, NASDAQ doing what they do best, slowing down progress, interfering with business and the marketplace. I can't stand those guys, man. I can't stand. Let the market realize if a stock is hot or not. It's not your job as the market to tell people when a stock is too hot. It's not your fucking job. I can't stand that shit, man. Let the market run the way it's supposed to run. A free market. Am I living in Cuba or what? You know, this I can't stand that shit, guys. It really pisses me off. If a stock is going up high, right? Let's say it's like AXIM. I mean, AXIM, I've said that. I'm going to say it over and over. That's the biggest fucking scam out there. AXIM. And I'm a hater with that because I saw that stock at $2 and I could have doubled my money, tripled my money, and I didn't put my money in it. Although I saw it, it looks like every other pump that's ever done that. And yes, I am a hater on AXIM. But AXIM, the biggest fucking scam out there. All right? They won't halt that shit. But they'll go and halt a stock that actually legitimately puts out financials, legitimately puts out news about the company, legitimately puts out, paperwork, period. But they'll let a stock like AXIM run on the OTCs like crazy. You know, this is a $330 million company that made $6,900 for the first 3 months of the fucking year. You know? What a fucking joke. My sister is 17 years old. She made more than $6,900 all year last year at her little fucking JCPenney job. She made more than a fucking publicly traded company that is worth more than $300 million right now. It's absolutely ridiculous. There are a lot of scams out there, man. A lot of scams out there. But they don't shut those ones down. Those shut down the stocks that me and you buy. Right? Those shut down those stocks that me and you buy. These little $5, $6 stocks that trade on the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ that are running hot, that are being bought by people like you and me. That are being bought by people like you and me. Those shut those down, though. You know, but the scams that really hurt people, that really get people to lose their homes, their livelihoods, sometimes their fucking lives, they don't shut those down. Anyway, going back to it, I don't want to sit here and preach too much, but I mean, after a while, man, you see this over and over and over again. You get tired of the bullshit. What's going on, Pajusino 5? What's going on? RNVA is the scam. Let me see RNVA. Hey Daniel, what's your evidence that RNVA is a scam? What's your evidence? 11-cent stock. 11-cent stock. The market's pretty much treating it like a scam. It's got a low as fuck PE though, man. I mean, look at that PE. Look at that PE ratio, man. That's a dirt cheap stock by price to earnings standards. All right. You're going to have to give me the evidence for that one. Appreciate that. Got to watch it from Puerto Rico. Appreciate that, man. Thank you for watching. I definitely plan on checking out Puerto Rico very soon. In fact, we talked about the Puerto Rican, the big bank down there in Puerto Rico. The bank down there in Puerto Rico is definitely something I'm taking a look at. I actually got an alert on that. I forgot the name of it, but I talked about it here on the show, and I definitely got an alert set for that. That publicly traded bank over there in Puerto Rico that trades on OTC, I think OTC markets. NVCN. What's your proof there on NVCN being a scam? You're gonna have to let me know what's your reasoning for that and why you feel it's a scam. I don't want to call it a scam if you know, I don't really have no proof it's a scam. We can look at the financials. When I talk about a stock as a scam, I can show you the financials. Blatant scam. PMCB was the big runner today on OTC markets. PMCB, Pharma Biotech. is the name of the company. 2 cents a share gain today for a 42% gain. They announced today that they had a pre-IND meeting, with the Center for Biologics and Evaluation and Research of the FDA. All right. So I guess the FDA gave them some kind of grant today. All right. Some kind of grant today. And interesting enough, looks like they got the heads up almost 2 weeks ago when they announced news that they were waiting for the FDA to advance their pancreatic cancer drug therapy into a pivotal clinical trial. All right. So huge move there on Pharma side. Should have been on top of that. Trying to do better with really getting on top of the news. That's why that news feature there on OTC Markets is very important to stay on top of, because that's the only way you can really stay in touch with what's going on here. So shout out to PMCB. It's actually a little bit too hot now, personally. Probably a little bit too hot now, although now they've got a little catalyst that we know that's running out there. They're going through some clinical trials. PMCB. You said you were in it. You suffered through the pump and dump because you tried and follow it but exited too late. On the other side, the revenues are crap. The company is giving no push forward. NVCN 2 lawsuits is a scam. Okay. Appreciate that, Daniel, for it. It's a pump and dump. Okay. All right. Daily Trader Grip, NEWLF, has a float of 8.9 million, showing a pulse. Let's take a look at that. NEWLF, New Lead Holdings. Oh, come on, man. Look, I appreciate the buying that happened today, though. I do see here some, that was a ton of volume being moved today. But again, in order for this stock to move, man, those buyers got to hold that. Again, we see these stocks all day here, these 000s, 111, 333, 444s. But if these stocks have to move, these buyers have to hold those shares. When the stock moves, 0002 or to 0003, you can't, you've got to be willing to hold for the longer move. All right. That's the problem. That's what keeps a lot of these triples at these prices, because the people who buy them don't give them the time. They don't want to sit on the shares. I understand nobody wants to be a bag holder, but be fucking patient. Be fucking patient. Mace, I'm just going to call it Free Stock Picks Live, man. I'm just going to call it Free Stock Picks Live. Fuck it. Let's just call it Free Stock Picks Live. Free Stock Picks Live. And shout out to I just got connected with, James Tomlinson. Are you watching right now, James? James Tomlinson is the master controller over at CBS affiliate KFXK, KTPN, and KCPN. There's a lot of little stations out there. And I just found out today to run a show on the night hours on some of these local stations can be as little as $200. So with that being said, I'm going to get together with James, and I'm going to do this video because I need to get on television, man. I need to get to the people. The internet is cool. I'll always be doing the show. I'll always be doing the live show, but I got to get my fucking, these real estate guys, they go on TV all night. I can do exactly what they do. Because we need to get back to promoting these stocks, man. I need to get back to promoting these stocks. And I need to get in front of people. All right? I need to get in front of people. Yes, indeed. So we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure all that out. Mason said, how about Nuck if you Trump? He said, Nuck if you Trump show. The Penny Come Up show. All right. I actually like Penny Come Up. Make it as general as fuck so it attracts all inputs into the search bar. Yeah, you're right. I was thinking about Free Stock Picks Live. So right now, that's the name of Free Stock Picks Live. All right, Free Stock Picks Live. So I'm going to go back to doing that eventually and calling it Free Stock Picks Live. But yeah, I got to get back on it, man. When I was growing up, there was that guy who was doing the real estate courses. What was his name? Carlton Sheets. You guys remember Carlton Sheets? Carlton Sheets made more money selling them damn courses than he ever made in real estate. He was a decent real estate investor. Don't get me wrong. He was a decent real estate investor when you read up on Carlton Sheets. He had a few buildings and whatnot, but for the most part, he made way more money selling his courses than he did actually, buying and selling real estate. In fact, a lot of the real estate that he bought in his life, and he's still alive, by the way. He's old as hell, though. He's old as hell, and it's very rare to find him anywhere. But the guy's still alive. I mean, I think he's like in his, he's up there now. I think maybe late 70s or, late 70s or something like that. But, yeah, I'm trying to be like Carlton Sheets, Kevin Trudeau. I'm trying to head in that direction. I'm more Kevin Trudeau than Carlton Sheets, right? Because I'm not really trying to sell how to trade as much as the idea of trading, but specifically trading penny stocks. I want to create a lot more liquidity in this market, guys. And that's why you guys who have came to my list, that freestockpicks.org list, if you're not on that freestockpicks.org list, you better get on it, because once I start blowing up with this television shit, I'm going to charge you motherfuckers to get on that list. All right? I'm going to charge you guys to get on that list, because that's how I'm going to pay for the television spots. All right? People are going to have to pay me to get on that email list. So that's why everybody who's getting on that email list now is going to be in there for free. But if you come in afterwards, it's going to be like $59.99 or some shit to that, to that extent. So I know I'm not sending out anything through email. I'm just trying to gathering signatures right now. So just sign up, and have a Coke and a smile. But for right now, just sign up. Just sign up. All right? Just sign up. Just sign up. Go to freestockpicks.org. Go to freestockpicks.org. Sign up for my newsletter. Sign up for my newsletter. There it is. Trading is very lucrative. But what we need to do is we need to get millions of people to trade the stocks we're trading right now. That's what we need to get. And we need to, in order to do that, we got to get in front of the American people. All right? I'm telling you guys right now, you guys are the inside people. You guys are going to get hooked up. Please believe it. You're going to get the inside dips. All right? You're going to get the inside dips. You guys are here right now. Appreciate it, Mace. Thank you. All right. 3 hooks. You said, no, I'm not putting out anything right now. Nothing's being put out. Right now, I'm just building a list, getting people signed up, getting them email alerts. Getting them emails listed up. Right now, I think I got a little bit over 5,000 or so. I need more. I need 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. But eventually, I want to get on television because I know that's where I'm going to be able to get 1, 2, 3 million people. Can you imagine if I put out an alert and that stock is seen by 2, 3 million people? Can you imagine the kind of volume that's going to move into that stock? Can you imagine the kind of gains you're going to get? And for those of you guys who are watching me right now, all right, you're watching me right now, you're going to get, again, inside dips because you were in here early. I'm going to create a list specifically for these people who watch my list right now, who watch my show right now. Okay? So before I hopefully, God willing, get to a point where you're going to have to speak to somebody else to speak to me, y'all going to get the hookup. Y'all going to be able to get the hookup. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate that. Let's get back to these stocks, though. All right, so I'm trying to look at some of these stocks that we've looked here recently. And before I forget, let me give you guys that website that I was talking to you guys about. And this stock, this website, hopefully, I don't know if it's how recent, recently has been updated, but it looks like it's listed here as updated as December 24th of 2015. So it might be missing a few stocks that were issued this year, which that means you're not missing too much. You're not missing too much. But it's got the complete list of apparel stocks, the complete list of automakers, the complete list of appliance stocks. Who knows? I mean, who remembers when that girl called me up? She was 16 years old and she was saying she's looking for a refrigerator stock. Does anybody remember that? That 16-year-old girl? So now we got a list for her. I got the complete list of appliance stocks trading on the New York Stock Exchange. So let me give you guys this list right now. And the first thing you want to do is bookmark it. Go ahead and bookmark it. Go ahead and bookmark it. Go ahead and click it open. Don't leave. Keep watching my show, but you can watch it on the other tab in your browser. But there it is. It's got the complete list of everything. You can open it up, go right to it. I'm in the mood for a hotel stock. Boom, the complete list of hotel stocks right there. Okay, I'm in the mood for oil and gas. Boom, complete list of oil and gas right there. All right. If you guys get a chance, I got to figure a way how to contact these people, get them to continue to update this stock. Update this website, because this is an amazing list, and I can only imagine how much effort was put in to create this. Because that would take quite a bit of time. That would create quite a bit of time. But I think you guys would really like that. Yeah, it's a badass list. It's a badass list, man. It's a badass list. Appreciate, yeah. You guys remember that, right? Yeah. You guys remember that. You guys remember that. All right. I'm telling you right now, guys, we're gonna take this penny stock shit to the moon. We really are. You know, not trying to call myself the small cap millionaire for nothing, man. I can't become rich without making you guys rich. I cannot do that. It's impossible. In order for me to become wealthy beyond my wildest imagination, I've got to make other people rich. That's a fact. You know, so this is not just for me. I've got to be able to make other people incredibly wealthy by buying these penny stocks and sharing them with their family and friends. Let me see what you guys are looking at right now. GMER, what is that? Good Gaming? GMER. Okay, it looks like it was moving. It looks like it was moving 12% down today. See, I actually don't mind this. I don't mind this. See, when I actually can see the stock showing some kind of movement, this is actually not too bad. It's actually not too bad. As long as we can see some kind of movement, all right, some kind of movement going higher, I like this, because this means that people are buying and holding. People are buying and holding. So let me look at Good Gaming, find out what this is about here. GMER. Okay, I like the fact that they've got all the ducks in a row here. They've got all their ducks in a row. Is that float right? Is that float right? 1.5 million shares? That can't be right. I don't think that float is right here on OTC Market, saying that float is 1.5 million shares, but 15 million shares were traded today alone. And the stock is at 0007, so that can't be right. That can't be right here. I think that needs to get updated here. Well, let's look at the financials here, see what real quick. In fact, can I do this? Let me see if I can do this here. OTC Markets. Let me see how it looks on the screen here so you guys can see it too. Does it look okay? It looks kind of funny. GMER. Let me see here. Company profile. Company, what is it? Good Game is a leading cash tournament gaming platform targeting 205 million esports. Oh, so it's an esports game platform. Esports gaming platform. Let's look at the financials real quick. I want to make sure you guys can see this. All right, see, there we go right here. Look at that. As of September 30th, 2016, There are 1.8 billion shares out there outstanding. How many is floating, I don't know, but based on what we looked at the chart, it's good to see that some of these people are holding these shares. All right, let's look at here. All right, September 36th. Now, this is unaudited statements, right? So these are unaudited statements. These are not been reviewed by an SEC regulated attorney or SEC accountant or an accountant registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission. So it is unaudited. This is basically, it could be a complete lie. Every single one of these numbers could be a lie, and they can get away with it by putting unaudited there. All right, let's see here. 60% due from affiliate. Gaming equipment. Why only $12,000 in equipment? I mean, if you're in esports gaming, you're gonna have a ton of more, equipment than $12,000. Can you imagine you're in esports gaming to a million gamers out there? You only got $12,000 in equipment. That's a sign right there. $1 million in gaming software that they consider as other assets. Current liabilities. The liabilities is relatively very low, only at $893,000. Convertible debts here. Couple convertible debts here. Liabilities are real low. So I mean, they're just getting started. We can beat up the financials all day. Absolutely no revenue for the last 2 years for that pretty much. As you can see here, no revenues whatsoever. No revenues. I'm a big believer in esports. You got companies out there who are, literally putting their logos on some of these guys. They got esports clans. Esports it could be two things. It could be the next big thing, or it could be a big fucking dud. It can be the next big thing or a big fucking dud. Like Pokemon Go. What happened to Pokemon Go? Y'all remember Pokemon Go? Now nobody plays that. If you see a motherfucker playing Pokemon Go now, he's like, man, you a motherfucking loser, man. What are you doing? It was hot to play it when it was hot. But if you're still playing Pokemon Go, you got some problems. All right. So obviously, as you can see here, incorporated November 8th. Let me see here. Financial concern. Just looking for any type of interesting company. Had a working deficiency of $749,000. Accumulated deficit of $3.6 million. Accumulated deficit of $3.6 million. But hey, look, I mean, this is why they trade on OTC markets, okay? You're going to see this over and over and over again. Every time I talk about a stock on Twitter, somebody, shows me a tweet of the financials like, hey, man, the stock only made, a couple $1,000. And I'm like, okay, well, it's fairly priced, though. It's fairly priced, though. That's why it's trading at, 0003. Now, it pisses me off when the stock has no revenues and it's valued at 100 million plus. But if it's got no revenues and it's a 0007, stock like this is, it's fairly priced. It's fairly priced. All right, it's fairly priced. All right, so yes, somebody said the stock is garbage. Yes, it is garbage. It is absolutely garbage. But if momentum starts to come into the stock, all right, the company starts to create some kind of press for itself and gets people excited about the future, then the stock could go up. The stock could go up. A lot of things about this OTC game that you guys need to understand is that it's not about what the company looks like now. It's what the company could look like. It's what the company could do. It's about how much the company could make. It's not about now. Get it out of your head about now. It's not about now. These stocks run on the emotions of humans, the idea of what it could be. What it could be. Not what it looks like now. Name an OTC stock that's ran up. It's running based on what we think it could do down the road. It's not about what it's doing now. Look at MJNA. Look at, what's it called? SGBY. SGBY. Go look at that. Go look at, Strikeforce. SFOR. This was a stock that was up 1,200, 1,400%. Still shitty books. Still shitty books. Still incredibly shitty books. Thank you, Daniel, for reminding me of that. Yeah, huge OPEC news coming out tomorrow. We've got a really big deal going on. I guess the Russians, the Iranians, and the Saudis can't agree on the deal. They can't agree on the deal. Basically, the gist of it is the Iranians want the Saudis to take a bigger cut on production than anyone else because the Iranians believe that the Saudis made more when Nigeria and Libya went offline for a couple years than anyone else. So the Saudis should be the ones to cut back oil production under these falling oil prices, because when oil starts to fall due to low demand, OPEC meets, and these are the oil-producing economic countries, I believe. Oil-producing economic countries, I believe. That's what it stands for. And they get together and they cut production to stimulate the price of oil, because many of these countries depend on oil prices to maintain their governments. All right, but they can't come to an agreement. They cannot come to an agreement right now, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that tomorrow, OPEC. So watch that for tomorrow. All right. Yeah, I mean, when you look at a stock like this, that's at 0007. If you got $50, $100, and I made a video on that, just plant some money there and move on. Keep it moving. I got tons of stocks that are not doing shit. That I've got $100 on, $50 here, $25 here, $30 here, because I know over time, if they get picked up, if they get reverse split they get split, or they get into, other situations, other companies reverse merger into them or whatever, I can end up with, a good return on $25, $50, $100. All right. It's not just the intraday moves that you want to, move on. We've talked about what happens if you hold over several days by getting into a stock that's not doing anything right now. By getting into a stock that's not doing anything right now. Okay. Let me see here. I sent an email to a company called Telco Cuba. Ticker is Cuban. I don't know if Travi's watching. I don't know if it's Travi watching. Travi, are you still following Cuban at all? I don't know if he's even in the chat room. I think he brought it up. I can't remember. But Cuban was the Cuban telco company. Well, it's not even, it supposedly has cellular services in Cuba. It offers low-cost international rate plans and talk and text. I honestly believe that Donald Trump is going to allow Cuba to continue to, move forward with opening up their governments. I think, again, I get a lot of flack for this, but I honestly just don't believe Trump is who a lot of people think he is. I think he's a money-grubbing maniac. I think money is more important to him than anything else in the world, and over America, over anything else. And then he's going to allow investors, he's going to allow money to flow into Cuba like nothing before has ever happened. All right, so I'm still looking for opportunities on ways to invest in Cuba, because I honestly believe that the opportunities are humongous when we talk about Cuba down the road. Okay, I honestly believe that. Oh, Travi, wasn't you? Okay, I don't know why I was thinking it was you that brought it up when we talk about Telco Cuba. Maybe it was somebody else, but okay. You said PPJE is a stock at standstill. However, good now. Be patient. PPJE. What is PPJE? PBJ Healthcare Enterprises. Yeah, as long as it's been pumped before. As long as it's been, I'm not seeing anything in it. But as long as it's been pumped before. I like, being able to get into a stock and waiting. I like looking for stocks that have been pumped before, stocks that have already, showed up in newsletters, in your email address. Find them, sit in them, because sure enough, they will be back. They will be back. And speaking of that, for those of you guys who've been playing penny stocks for a long time, You might be familiar with this name. Who remembers Lot 78? If you do not remember a stock called Lot 78, Lot 78 was, I want to say, a clothing company. They were a clothing company when they first came out. And this stock went from, it went from literally like, I think like $1 to like 12 or something like. It was absolutely ridiculous back in 2013. In fact, they got the D drop from their name today. So they're back in business. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to run like they used to run. I'm not saying that. The bid-ask spread is still ridiculous. I think you still got a ton of losers out there. But it was interesting to see that they did a decrease, a 1-for-275 split on, what was that, 1031. That was really interesting to see them do that so recently. And then all of a sudden today they get the D drop from their name, and now they're in compliance. They're current again. So LOTE is the ticker. The ticker is LOTE. And again, you can go to Google. You can Google and just type in Lot 78 and see what they did back in 2013. In fact, I can show you here on the chart what they did way back when. This is, it looks like this is way, let me go way back when. Let's say go back. This is the 5-year chart. If you guys saw it first, blink there. Here's Lot 78. May of 2013. Obviously, it's been split a couple times, so the prices aren't right. But this is a stock that literally did nothing and soared. As you can see here, incredible amount of volume moved into that stock over the period of about a month and a half or so. It got all the way up there and came crashing down. But Lot 78 was the runner back in the day, man. That was the runner way back when. Lot 78. And the ticker is LOTE. So I'm just watching it because, again, the reason why the promo ran is they bought a $3 million promotion. They brought a $3 million promotion by what's his name? I forgot. Let me see here. And by the promoter Eric Dickerson's Breakaway Stocks. He was the promoter at the time. And R.I.P. Eric Dickerson. I think he is R.I.P. But I think the website, for whatever reason, is still up. I don't think they sent anything. But the website is still up. His website was Breakaway Stocks. This was 2013. And again, that's all I was playing back then was promoter stuff. It was promoter heaven back in 2012, 2013. Any email they would send out was running crazy. Yeah, LOTE was that play way back when. You said, Ken, I got a client at the firm I work at looking to pick this up. Eric Lamb, CANN. Let me see here, CANN. General Cannabis. Yeah, General Cannabis, another great pump. That's running, moving good. Here's the 5-day movement in the chart. So intraday is spotty. All right, intraday is spotty. It doesn't have incredible amount of movement intraday. If you look at the volume, today was an off day compared to its average. But as you look at the 5-day here, you're up almost $1 a share. Actually, you are up $1 a share off a recent fallback, though. So it looks like it's recovering nicely. Here when you look at it, spread it out down here at the 8-day chart. But it looks like it's spreading really nicely on CANN. So we'll see what goes on with that. Pettiest Trump make Mexico build a wall? No, he's not going to make them build a wall. I think the wall is a symbol for the idea of, more policing, more regulation on the border, but I don't believe any wall is going to be built on the border. You got to understand, Donald Trump only has like 30 months. He's got like 30 months and he's going to have to start running for president again. So he needs to deliver ASAP. And if he wants to deliver ASAP, it's not going to be a wall. It's not going to be a wall. It's going to be about deregulation. That's his only move. If he's serious about being president again for another 4 years, He can't build a wall. It cannot be a wall. He's not going to get it done. It's not going to get done. All right. So I think the wall is a symbol for other things. I wasn't happy with this tweet that he came out today talking about sending people to jail for burning the flag. I mean, you know, again, he's a 70-year-old man. He's a 70-year-old man. And one thing we also have to remember is that his dad started suffering from dementia around this time. So Donald Trump, you know, again, I fully expect late in his presidency for him to start acting a little bit erratically after all the stress, right? We see how it aged Obama. If you look at videos of Obama 2008 and what he looks like now, it's a lot of stress. The man is already 70 years old. So can you imagine, you know, you're going to be aged 20 years. All right. So we're going to be seeing literally physically age almost 20 years in the next 4 years. All right. So he's already going to, you know, if you got a problem with what he's tweeting now, God help you 4 years from now when he's about to find out he's not getting reelected. All right. Oh, yeah. His tweets are going to get crazy, man. His tweets are going to get crazy. These tweets are going to get crazy. He's only got 30 months. He's only got 30 months. That's pretty much it. I mean, the man's 70 years old, man. He's a 70-year-old man. I understand he looks healthy and all that, but at the end of the day, when you get in the White House, you got that stress. It's gonna eat him alive if he don't know what that. He can't get taking them naps, tweeting at 3, 4 in the morning. He's been doing it forever his life, but it's a different level of stress, man. Different level of stress. Oh yeah, I agree with you on that, Dre. I agree with you on that. We're finding news that he's not showing up to meetings now. He hasn't even been elected yet, and he's not showing up to meetings already. You ain't even got the job yet, and you already not showing up to meetings. His security briefings. He's got what's his name? The Pence guy, his VP Pence. Forgot his first name, blanking out on me right now. Showing up to security briefings. That's your job. That's your job. You know what I'm saying? That's your job. Well, I don't know, Dwayne. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll definitely see. Like I said, man, we're trying to get this thing on television, get these stocks, get these, you know, things moving. But I'm saying right now, as I started the show, if you guys want to make some money, you're in the right place, man. The next 4 years, you know, he's got to make a move with the economy that's going to be increasing incredible amount of shareholder value with some of these publicly traded companies. You are in the right place. You are in the right place. There's no better place to be right now than stock and real estate speculation, period. No better place to be. Anything else is a waste of time. You trying to be a priest, you trying to be, you know, a manager at your little store somewhere, you know, you working for a paycheck trading hours for dollars, you're losing. You're losing. I'm telling you right now, you're losing. You're gonna miss out on an incredible amount of money being made if you're out there trading dollars for hours and don't get yourself a little hustle with these stocks. You know what I'm saying? Putting some of your check into some of these stocks that are out here growing incredibly. All right? Let's go. Let's get back to it. All right, and let's see here. Let's see, going back to some of the biggest gainers of today. Let me see here. And again, we're going to make some sense of this data deal, the data RAM deal, the DRAM deal, and figure out, because that could be either a really lucrative move for them or a big dud. But I don't like the fact that they jumped on a gold company as gold prices are declining, which they look like they probably could have got a better deal in a couple months. But maybe, you know, is an asset they had to take off the table ASAP. All right. Looking at some other stocks that were up today that are in our realm. INCT, in Capta, OTC company. This is a shipbuilding stock, up 140% today. Up 140% today. Does anybody know too much about this company? In Capta, INCT, 18 cents a share today, gained over 10 cents. Started the day damn near at 12 cents a share, opened up really aggressively. Looks like they had some news. Today. What was that about? Let's see here. Hopefully it doesn't mess up my thing here. Can you guys see that? Encapta teams up with Leading Edge Radio Network and Leading Edge Radio.tv to bring citizen journalists from around the world. What the fuck does that have to do with shipbuilding? What does this have to do with shipbuilding? They said they're a shipbuilder. All right, let's find out what's going on here, man. INC, unless they got marked wrong. Okay, so they got the wrong. Okay, so all right, so they got the wrong thing here. They're not a shipbuilder. All right, so INCT, formerly known as TBC Global News Network, is a media holding company which works with clients to develop and operate and market online cloud television networks and entertainment projects. The company participates in various fields of online business models, providing executive-level managerial assistance, as well as arranging for clients and online presence through social media, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they're that's legit news. All right. That's legit news. Based out of San Diego, California, and Capta Media. All right. Now, looking at the news, I'm not sure. The float's pretty nice, though. That float, that's 6.5 million shares. And the float, and that actually might be right based on how the stock moved today, though. That actually might be right. Based on the way that the stock moved today. INCT, 6.5 million shares floating out there, 140% gain on the stock today. This is the one-day chart, so it looks like unless you kind of knew, what was going on here, some heavy buys in there today. 2.2 million shares traded today over an average of only 16,000. So obviously some people thought, something was in it today. All right. Something was going to in it today. Nikhil said your goal is to open an account before the inauguration. Hey, man, TD Ameritrade, 5 minutes, you can open your account absolutely free, my brother. 5 minutes is free. TD Ameritrade, jump on it, man. About my money, CZZ, what is that about? Let me see, CZZ. All right, Kozan Ltd, $7 a share. Oil and gas. I'm not a fan of oil and gas right now. Because I'm not sure what's going on. We just mentioned the deal with OPEC and, what's going on with them unable to get a deal, situated, because right now we've got a glut. We've got a glut in the market right now. In fact, let me look at investing.com. Investing.com, great place to see live charts of commodities. And right now, where's crude at? Crude's at 45.50. Let me see here. Where's crude at? 45.50. Which is below what we were today during the trading day. Right now we're at 45.51. Where are we at for the last month? All right, so for the month we're kind of averaging out, up 27 cents today so far. 28 cents. But for the most part, we're still significantly below. Let me see here. We're significantly below 6-month highs. 1 year. Well, we are at the highest prices it's been all year. All right. We actually are at the highest prices we've been at all year. If you guys remember, let me see here. If you guys remember back in April, back in February, we were talking about $25, $26 oil. So we're significantly higher than where we were. We're still at the highest points of the year, but we're not where a lot of companies need to be. A lot of companies need to be at the $55, $60, $65 oil level. They need to be at that price. That's why, earlier this year, it was bankruptcy lawyer heaven for attorneys who were representing oil and gas companies. Left and right, you saw oil and gas companies going into bankruptcy late 2015, early 2016. All right, that's why the line Qs, the BBO Qs, the SDO Qs, all those Qs, oil and gas, are energy related. All right. So I'm still not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of oil and gas right now, even at these highs, man. Who brought that up? CZZZ. But if you want to talk about it, something else, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. All right. You said you want to start, even if you make $30 a day, you're happy. Yeah, man, at least as long as you're doing something, man, because again, investing is something that you get better with over time. It's not something that, you read a couple books and you get better. It's the fact that I've seen so many people over the course of me being on YouTube, they start and they stop and they quit. And you know what I'm saying? You got to stay in it. Imagine how good of a trader you'll be if you dedicate yourself to it 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. 5 years from now. If you're in your 20s right now, you're in your 30s, imagine how good of a trader you'll be in your 50s. You'll be able to look at a chart and be able to tell, not necessarily where it's going, but you'll be able to say a lot more about, the possible direction of the move with all of that experience in your back pocket than you will that if you look at it and give up on it. At the end of the day, look, these companies are not giving you, they're not giving you, silver, gold watches anymore. They're not giving you gold watches. They're not giving you pensions. 401ks, they're taking that shit away. 401ks was supposed to be the savior of the pension. Now 401ks, we got people losing 401ks. So you got to be able to make your own paper on the side doing your own thing, whether it be the real estate or stocks or something. Because these companies will fuck you over. They will fuck you over. All right. Let's get back to it. Let me see here. Let's see here. Gene, Gene is running up huge right now. Ain't that right, Bats? Hey, Bats, do you want to talk about Gene? You want to call up and talk about Gene and what's going on there? You want to call up and talk about what's going on with Gene? Let me know. It's up to you, man. It's up to you. Gene up huge. Where is it at right now? And again, that licensing deal was a huge, huge thing for them. That licensing deal was a huge, huge deal for them. And where are we at after hours? Bill Betts, what's that stock that you said was up after hours huge? What was that stock you said was up after hours huge? Bill Betts. I think you remember calling that. 401k is going 401k is going down the drain, man. I'm telling you, man, you guys are going to be a beast, man. Some of you guys in here, you're barely in your 20s, you're barely in your 30s. I'm telling you, you guys stick with this shit, man. You're going to be a beast. There's no reason you're not going to be a multimillionaire in your late 40s and 50s if you stick with this. All right? Look at the Warren Buffetts of the world. Look at all these guys got better with time. These guys got better with time and taking long-term positions, which was, Warren Buffett's philosophy. But you're going to be a better short-term trader. You're going to be a better long-term trader, whatever it is. There's a chart out there showing Warren Buffett and how wealthy he got over time, simply using time to his advantage in some of his plays. All right. And speaking of Warren Buffett was another guy who used, using that business credit philosophy, finding an old company, which was Berkshire Hathaway, an old, well, not furniture, but an old, what type of Berkshire Health? I think it was a furniture company, right? But anyway, he used them and their credit facilities to build and buy other companies through Berkshire Hathaway. He's another one that used business credit to his advantage. It was all business credit. When you look at Warren Buffett, he didn't really have his own money. He kind of got it, took control of Berkshire Hathaway and used their lending power to buy several, opportunities in Coke and other businesses that grew his wealth. Anyway, you said lithium will be the new gold. Very well could be. Very well could be. And shout out to you, Bats, for URRE, man. I think you had brought up URRE not too long ago. If you can tell us what's going on with URRE, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Dino Mars, yeah, 401k, yeah, good you said that, man. 401ks. If you're depending on a 401k, that's you right there. That's your money. That's your money right there. If you're depending on a 401k to save your life. P. Juso, you said, grab the plane again. You said, can I recommend a good book on penny stocks? My man, we give away tons of books here. There's not one book. There's not one book. All right. Let me see here. There's a book going around called Momo Traders. It's a really, really good book. I just started it, and you guys can trade. It's a pretty big file because it was scanned in. It was scanned in, but it's a really, really good book. I just started. It's called Momo Traders, and it goes into, and it's like a $40 book on Amazon. I'm giving you that book right there in the chat room, absolutely free. It's called Momo Traders, and it talks about traders and how they started out. And these are, unlike Money Masters, this is a new one. These are like new traders, and one guy's a penny stock trader. Another guy trades the NYSE. I mean, they're all over the map. But it's a relatively new book that came out, I want to say like a year or two ago. But it's right there in the chat room. I just gave it to you. Momo Traders is a good book, and of course, you have our premium torrent, which is the Stock and Option Traders book collection. And this collection of books it's called the Stock Market Traders ebook collection. And let me see here. It's got a lot of books in it. It's got a ton of books. It's got a ton of books in it. And I think at least over 500 books or so are in that book. In that collection. Some of you might have to change from EPUB to PDF, but there's so many websites that will exchange that for you free of charge, going from EPUB to PDF in less than a second or two. All right, so that's the torrent right there. I just put that in the chat room if you need that. What else? There's that one. This other torrent too. The Stock Market and Option Trading ebook collection. This is a really, really good book collection as well. That's another 400, 500 books right there. And combined right there, it's almost 1,000 books. You'll probably see some overlapping. Some books, not overlapping, but some doubles in there. But for the most part, all the books you need. Basically, any stock market related book within the last, 15 years that was released that was good is in those torrents. Right there. It's all you need. Absolutely all you need right there. All right. Okay, let's keep it moving. Going back to this here real quick. Where's the price of silver at right now? Where's the price of silver? Silver is at 1607. 1607. Let me look at the silver chart. Natural gas is still holding heavy, man. Natural gas is still holding heavy at the 330s. But what did CHK do? I didn't follow CHK today. All right, so CHK sideways today, 637. See here. Natural gas is silver. Silver continues to drop, but slight rebound over the last week or so in silver. I don't believe this is a turnaround. I don't believe the turnaround is real just yet. But we are approaching some interesting levels in silver where we could be breaking out higher here on silver. In fact, let me see here, silver. And because this is the price of silver. And I guess you guys can look on it on TradingView. And what I love about the silver chart is that you don't have to be a pro, You don't have to be a you don't have to have a pro account to have a live silver or commodity chart. All right, so as you can see, this is a live chart right now of silver. Silver runs all day, every day, except weekends, of course. But it's a live silver chart right now. We're at 1663. And as you can see, for the last 3 months, if we could pull out the 3-month chart, it's been very, very bearish. Very, very bearish in silver. Last 5 days, too, as well. 5 days, if you look at the last 5 days, we've been somewhat of a rebound. But again, I don't think it's full most. I'd actually put in a put right now in silver, because I'm not sure where this is going to go. But the rebound looks somewhat legit over the last 5 days. All right. What's going on, Sean Crease? IB Bat, what's up? What's going on, IB Bat? All right. Okay, let me see here. So again, that's the live silver chart. Yeah, Tyson said you follow momentum and tickers that tick, buying dips, support levels, rebound breakouts. That's what's up, man. That's kind of what I trade too. News catalyst. You can go to my Elma Suds video. I'll let you know what I trade with that one. I love news catalyst. I love news catalyst, or stock promotion. Yes, indeed. All right, so let's see what else is out there. Any decent? I didn't see any decent silver plays. Besides AMD, can somebody give me a good Christmas stock? A good Christmas stock. We need a good fucking Christmas holiday stock, man. I need something that's gonna run in December. You know what I'm saying? A good Christmas holiday stock. We haven't mentioned Sprint. Have you guys been seeing what's been going on with Sprint? Sprint today touched $8 a share, and I wanted to talk about that because Sprint, on my list of stocks to talk about here, was one of my last ones. But Sprint, interestingly enough, today news came out that iPhone sales, the newest iPhone 7 sales, are to be breaking previous records. Now, that beats expectations, because for a long time, there were people who were saying that the iPhone 7 wasn't selling as good. All right, because for the first time, we didn't see the crazy long lines. We didn't see people fighting. We didn't see anybody getting shot for the iPhone 7. And that had to do a lot with the fact the way they were sold today. When they came out, you had a lot of people who had the ability to pre-order. You have a lot of actual stock on hand, so people didn't really have to feel like they had to wait in line to get it. You had a lot of sellers who were able to sell it online, right? You were able to buy the phone completely online and overnight it to your home. So you didn't see the craziness that you saw at the iPhone 6, 5, 4 launches. And a lot of people, because of that, thought that the iPhone 7 was a possible dud. But as you can see from this Sprint chart, absolutely insane gains here in Sprint over the last 5 days. I think you guys forgot about Sprint. Some of you guys have forgot about Sprint, but Sprint's been doing its thing. Bad Scientist, Christmas stocks, BBY, TGT. We're going to take a look at it in just a moment. Let's take a look at BBY. What's going on with that? All right, so don't forget about Sprint, man, because Sprint could be touching the 9 and 10 very soon. Sprint, another one of my Christmas. That should be a Christmas stock for somebody in here. Best Buy, 45.62. Obviously, I'm not sure what the options market for Best Buy stock is, but that probably be the best way to go, because I can't buy 10,000 shares of that. Best Buy, TGT, Target. Oh, nice move for Target. All right, looks like you could have got it at a discount today at the low $77 range. Nice move on Best Buy and Target. Guac, what is that? Guac Inc. What is Guac Inc? Who brought that up? All right, it's pretty bad, man. What's going on with Guac Inc? Daily Drink is a buy and hold, DRNK. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about this drink stock. What's going on with drink? I've been hearing a lot of people talk about it. It didn't do anything today. All right, Amazon. Yeah, Amazon is a nice little move though. Amazon is a nice little move. Oh, let me go to the real Amazon. Let me see. I don't know what this is. The Algerian, whatever that is. AM. Let me see. Amazon. There we go. So Amazon, very aggressive move. This is actually the 1 year stock. Let's look at it a little closer to that. 5 days been pretty bearish last 5 days, but I would give it some time though, because it's going to go up there. I mean, come on, Amazon is a $1,000 stock. It's a $1,000 stock. It's just a matter of time for it to get there. All right, but at the end of the day, we're talking about a stock that is sending or is trying to get to a point where they can send drones to drop shit at your house. You know what I mean? This is one of the biggest retailers in the world. It's getting to a point where Amazon could be bigger than Walmart. And that will happen sooner than later. All right, the future of buying and selling, is e-retailing. It has been for now last almost 20 years now. 919, what's up?
Hey, Sal, Bat Scientist here. How you doing?
Hey, Bat, what's going on with you, man?
Nothing much. Joined the group a bit too late today. I passed off by hotel, but that's all right.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to talk briefly about Gene. So Gene, this is an Australian company. They've got their number one therapy is for breast cancer.
Okay.
And unfortunately, being an Australian stock, it doesn't move regularly. It's something I've looked at like over the last few years, and it has these flurries where it moves, but unfortunately, it's almost like every 6 months or so. The last major move it made was end of January, I think in 2015, and then maybe like 6 months ago, like April. But it's one of those frustrating stocks that when it does move, it will maybe have a couple of days of movement, and then it just phases out. So maybe with today's news and this licensing agreement from today might move it a little, but I think the major problem is market penetration, and being like an Australian stock, they probably maybe only have a major presence in Australia itself and not the rest of the world. But hopefully, with today's deal, they'll probably have more market penetration internationally. If anyone else has traded something similar to that, there's another Australian company that moves exactly more or less in a very frustrating way, and that's PRAN. And it's another biotech stock, but it tends to move, periodically, and tends to be a runner, but only, after about 6 months or so.
All right.
And then related to lithium, URRE jumped big today. There wasn't actually any news pertaining to it, but
right.
I think, like I said, with the lithium, that ties in with the phone industry, so there might be some correlation. I need to look into that more. But like when I mentioned it last time, URRE, I think LITH also has looks like it's on an upward trend as well. But these are more like long-term swing trades, like over 3 months or something like that.
Sure.
Definitely something to keep an eye on. And then, like I said, Christmas stocks, you can't go wrong with BlackBerry and Target. I think Target might be at the top of its channel right now, but there might be a channel breakout if they have record sales, because I think this year online sales are pretty good, looking at Cyber Monday and, Black Friday. So any of those major securities where online sales is a major contributor, we should see some gains on those.
Good. Not bad, man. Appreciate it. I'll definitely put those on the list. LITH is really nice. I mean, that's a really nice stock to be in at these prices. LITH here, OTC company involved in lithium, U.S. Lithium Corp. And, yeah, I could definitely see that as a stock that could move a lot higher.
Yeah, the weekly chart is also pretty impressive. You notice if you convert to the weekly chart, since October, it's been, every candle's green. It's going up all the way since October. So, yeah, that's definitely one to watch. And, just find related companies that the lithium industry feeds into, and maybe try and see if there's a correlation between the uptick of lithium, because right now, holiday time, we should actually see an increase in phone sales and all that good stuff. So maybe this is going to be, something to watch, like I said, in the next couple of months or so. So, yeah, that's all I have for you today, Sal.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the call, Bats.
No problem, Sal. Catch you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much again for the call. Excellent call by and again, great stocks I'll put on the list for you guys to watch. Great move, and I think I really do like that Target stock. By the way, that Target, another stock that all of a sudden ran right after the election. In fact, if you pull up the Target stock, like I did earlier, it seemed like after the 7th it just kind of took off. So interesting play. So really good call actually for him looking into lithium. The LITH stock, he's absolutely right. I mean, this is a stock that almost touched 8 here not too recently. It looks like there's been a pullback these last maybe 2-3 days or so in the stock. But obviously that's over the fact that it's been moving quite aggressively. And I think it could move a lot higher. Watch to see what the stock does tomorrow. Maybe hopefully see if you're getting it at the bottom price here. But looks like there's some buying moving into the stock very aggressively over the last couple week and a half or 2 weeks. 7 million shares traded today alone, which is above an average of 245,000. All right, let me see here. I'm looking at a couple other lithium plays here. Lithium Americas Corp. Lithium Americas Corp. This is the ticker LACDF. Long as ticker, trades on OTC, but it's interesting because this trades on the OTCQX, which is the highest level of transparency required to trade on the OTC markets. So OTCQX is the venue that this market trades in. Again, the ticker is LACDF, Lithium Americas Corp. All right. 786, you're on the air. 786, you there? 786. All right.
Get out of here, you damn nigga!
All right, take care. All right, so Lithium America Corp, LACDF. Let me put that in the chat room for you guys if you didn't hear. Oh, Robbie C., that was you? Oh, call up again, man. Call up again. Oh, my bad. Call up again and, because I was saying what's up, nobody was saying anything, man. So turn your volume off so you can just listen to me on the phone. All right, turn the volume off. There it is. All right, Robbie, you there?
Hey, man, how's it going?
Oh, good. Glad to have you on. Is this your first call?
This is my first call, yeah.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thank you for calling. So, I'm guessing you got a stock you want to talk about.
Yeah, I was keeping my eyes on a few, actually. I trade with Robinson.
Okay. Oh. Hello? Oh, shit, I think the call dropped. I don't know why we're having trouble with Robbie. I think it's just the first time blues. Robbie, call up, man. Call back up. We want to hear what you had to say, man. It's got the first time blues on that one. Call back up, man. Call back up, Robbie. It's the first time blues. I don't know what you got over there. Robbie, just call back up. It's cool, dude. It's cool. SCON. No, we haven't talked about. We'll talk about that in just a second. We'll talk about in just a second. But Robbie, call me back. 305-600-2896. No, Robbie, call back up, man. Call up, dude. Call up. Every single opportunity. I hate feeling like I'm missing an opportunity. So call up, because I don't know. You know, whatever stock you have, I may not have seen it. People in the other room may not have seen it. So call back up, man. All right, so he's not going to call us. Come on, man. There he goes. All right, Robbie, there you are.
Hey, man.
Perfect. So
I don't even have YouTube on anymore, man.
Okay, not a problem. Perfect.
Room.
So what stock are you looking at right now?
I'm looking at a couple. I wanted to bring one up that my friends and I have been looking at. It's called GLBS.
Okay.
It's you know, my friend primarily is the one that has been looking at it. It's more of a long term. Mm-hmm. It hasn't spiked as of yet. It's at 410 right now, if I'm not mistaken. But it was at 36, I'd say, a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But all they need is, you know, just one acceptance of a drug, and they can just spike up to 40, you know, at any moment. But
yes. CLDX is one that I've actually been slowly watching at. I've got some alerts set on it too. When I look at my chart here, I do have some alerts that I've set on it, and it's a stock that really needs to hold that 382 level, because after below 382, I think it becomes somewhat of a danger zone after that. But I like where it's trending at now. CLDX. Do you know where they are in terms of their drugs? I do see they did a recent acquisition here that they completed today. But where are they now in terms of their drug? Do you kind of happen to know anything about that?
Man, if I was with my friend, he would know much more about it. He was telling me they're, if I'm not mistaken, about a few weeks away from a possible drug acceptance that can, you know, again, just spike it.
Okay.
But no, I don't know exactly the timetable when that drug could be accepted. But no, I saw the same thing that you saw today. And going back to the 386 thing, I was thinking about 390 for me, and because I'm not personally in it right now, but I was telling my friend the same thing you were mentioning to me. If it was down to that level, I'd get out of it. I would not trust it at that level. But I don't think it's going to go down there though. I think if this drug obviously gets accepted, it's going to spike.
Sure.
But I wanted to also mention a stock that I've been looking at personally, because I'm more into the technology industry, even though it's not really a penny stock. I just wanted to mention before I got off the phone here, Texas Instruments, which I don't know if you've talked about on their show as of yet, but I think they have tons of potential.
And what's the ticker for that?
The ticker currently is 74. I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah. I hear you loud and clear. You said the ticker, I think it's TXN, right? Texas.
Oh, I thought you were asking what the price is. No, it's TXN. Correct.
Okay, TXN. Okay, TXN. Oh, okay. Whoa, yeah. That's a nice little chart there. Where's that going?
Okay. You're asking where I think it's going to go?
Yes.
I think personally it's going to go. I think it'll hit about the 85 range, because I've been following this stock for the past month and a half, and I had money invested in it, but I took it out because I needed to put it in more of a conservative portfolio. That's really where I'm aiming. But I think it's going to hit about the 85 to 90 range, and then it's going to level out. And it's been added to a lot more hedge funds and mutual funds. just because a lot of managers have been looking at this stock, and I mean, you can see the chart yourself. It's a pretty gorgeous stock.
Yeah, it is.
And I think it's a good long-term investment for people that are a little bit more conservative. So that's just another stock I wanted to look at, to see what you probably thought about it. I don't know if you've been looking at it.
No, I mean, I haven't been looking at it. Kind of out of my price range that I like to look for in terms of stocks. But I mean, anything that makes money, I'm going to jump on. And when I look at Texas Instruments, in fact, if you spread it out for the year, I mean, it's done absolutely incredible. Almost $20 a share, higher than where you were last year. So Texas Instruments, TXN, and the PE too is relatively light for what it's done over the year. Still trading at only 23 times earnings. So looks like there's still a lot of growth left over there to come in there. I see here a lot of good articles praising Texas Instruments.
And one more thing with the Texas Instruments stock. I don't know how many of your viewers are into dividend trading. I'm not so heavily into it, but for the ones that are, it just recently reported that it gave us a 50-cent dividend yield, or it gave it on a 50 cents per share dividend, and it went up from I think 36 cents from the last one that they had given out the previous quarter. So, if your viewers are into dividend trading, that's another heavy thing to get into, because just 2 shares is going to get you $1, and that's relatively cheap for that kind of stock.
Not bad, man. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the call, man. Unless you got something else for us.
Sorry about that connection. I don't know what the hell is going on.
Hey, not a thing, man. Robbie, call back anytime, all right?
I'm going to keep watching some other stocks you guys have.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the call, man.
Man.
Not a problem. Thank you.
All right. Have a good night, bro.
Bye-bye. Yeah, shout out to Robbie. Shout out to Robbie for that call, man. Texas Instruments and that other stock, too. I like them. I like both of them. I like both of them. Texas Instruments, the one I like actually most, is Texas Instruments. CLDX, the other one he talked about. CLDX, I got to learn a little bit more about this company. He talked about Texas Instruments and CLDX. CLDX, I'm watching it. I'm watching it very carefully. Now that he's talked to me about that drug, because I didn't want to scare him away, because I was actually looking at CLDX as a possible short. So I didn't want to throw him off, because if he had some good things to say about it, I wanted to hear it. But I looked at CLDX as a possible short, because I felt that if it cracked 397, which I have it listed here for, I feel like if it cracks 397, then we could be trying to attempt to touch 382 again, and that would have been a really nice short for somebody with a couple thousand shares. So it's hanging on that blue line, because it needs that 397 is a very strong support level in my opinion for the stock, and if it breaks that, we could be trying to touch 382. But so far it's hanging on top and it's finding some support, so we'll see. Appreciate the call, Robbie. Thank you so much. CLDX and Texas Instruments, TXN. And in fact, I'd want to see what the let me see if Texas Instruments, if I log on real quick, let me see if Texas Instruments, because at $70-something a share, look, you can't buy 1,000, 10,000 shares of this, but I'm trying to figure out, can I? TXN, does it have liquid options? Does the stock have liquid options? And if I look at Texas Instruments, they're not bad. Okay, they're not bad. They're not as liquid as probably I want a couple hundred shares traded intraday. So not necessarily enough to really, for you to go big on. But maybe if you can afford, 5, 6, 7 contracts, 10 contracts, it's not a bad play. It's not a bad play. They're actually relatively inexpensive too. They're relatively inexpensive for a stock that high, TXN. I'm seeing calls going for 43, 43 cents. In the money calls going for as low as 71 cents. Some out of the money calls. In fact, let me see some of these out of the money calls. For example, December 16th. Let's go back to TXN. Let me look at the chart. TXN. We're at $74 right now. So an out of the money call, December 16th. Yeah, it's going for about 50 cents right now out of the money for a contract. 50 cents a share for $76 for December 16th. That's actually not bad. So you'd be in the money at $76.50, which is it's probably a little too far. So let me go back up a little. 75.88. I don't know. That's close. Options is really tricky, man. Options is really tricky. Target options. Let's see what target options look like. TGT, right? Yeah, I think it's TGT. TGT. I like to go out a little bit. December 16th. You know, December 2nd, man. That's December 2nd is just this week, right? It's this Friday. Let's go. What's the stock doing though? TGT. If you was lucky, right? You're at 78.41 in the money, 92 cents a contract in the money for target. 78.50, 56 cents. Yeah, the 21 cent move today. Damn, that would have been a great opportunity right there. But shout out to Dre. Yeah, Dre, these are not bad, man. These are not bad. These are not bad. I like that 78.50. That's just out the money, going for 56 cents a contract. That'd probably be the move right there. That 78.50. But I like that in the money though. I like that in the money 78 call, going for 92 cents a contract. Which was crazy because just before the close, the day before, it was going for 78 cents. So what a move. What a move, man. What a move. Jax, play. Yeah. I mean, but even when it comes to options, I like playing the weeklies. I like playing the weeklies because they're very volatile. You know what I mean? If you got a stock that's moving in the right direction, you got a very liquid option, you play the weeklies. And again, just follow the trend. It's pretty good money. It's pretty good money. Follow the trend. It's got very high volatility. You're probably going to make some good money. And you're playing in the money. You're playing in the money options, or maybe just outside the money. I don't like going far out the money. I like in the money or just outside when I know the chart's headed that way. All right. How do options work? Man, that can be a whole 2-hour show in itself. But let's go ahead and wrap up the show here. Let's talk about some stocks that we talked about today. And again, we ended the show talking a little bit about lithium. I like Robbie's call on TXN, though. I mean, that's a strong move. Bank of America, the financials came back today. I think Bank of America was sideways today, but I think you're getting it at a recent slight pullback. Bank of America, I think this is a slight pullback. It should be retesting the high 20s again. So look at some Bank of America options for those of you guys who like options as well. Not to change the subject too much. All right, not to change the subject too much. Gene has got to be on the list. But other than that, man, are there any other plays that you guys think tomorrow could be good? Because, I mean, the market was all over the place. Of course, I got GLBS back on there because, the ships, who knows what these ships are going to keep doing. They keep running, so I'm going to put that on there. ARRE is a good one, Michael B. Yes, ARRE's got to be on that list. We were concerned with ARRE yesterday because the volume didn't seem like it was there. But, Aircraft Parts and Manufacturing Group, whatever it's doing, it's setting up really nicely. Now we're talking about breakout. Now we're talking about a possible breakout for AIRI. The volume is still, 100,000 shares. We're still like, but at the end of the day, man, it's been a strong 2-day move. A pullback could be justified tomorrow, but, we don't know whether or not it's going to continue to run. So it's something you got to watch. DRAM, yes, DRAM has got to be on the list as well. because we need more information on what exactly they saw in that gold company. What did they see? What is exactly in those properties that they're acquiring with U.S. gold? That would have them go out and buy this company like that at this time. All right, at this time, putting dries back on the list is very interesting. Putting dries back on the list is very interesting. But you know what? I see where you're going with that, and I'm going to put dries back on the list too. SPU. I was watching SPU, thinking SPU like, oh my God, are we going to do it again? Did you guys watch SPU today? SPU, I didn't even really get into this stock today, Sky People Fruit Juice, but Sky People Fruit Juice is doing it again. I mean, I don't know what it is about these Chinese companies, man. They just keep making it happen. They keep making it happen. So shout out to people or anybody behind Sky People Fruit Juice. That's some deep shit over there, man. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. They're really blowing it up over there. All right. SCON. Yeah, let's get into SCON. Let's get into SCON before we end the show. So, SCON. All right. Now, from what I read earlier today, SCON won a contract with the Department of Energy. Now, it was kind of disappointing because although the stock moved, it didn't hold the gain. So, moving forward, I mean, what are you guys' take on it? Because the news didn't come out after hours, did it? I mean, I don't think it came out. It came out slightly before the market. Let me see here. Did it come out after hours? I don't think it came out after hours. What was that move at 2 o'clock about? Let me see here. Y'all about to blow my mind away. What's going to happen? Everybody's like, oh, look at the after hours. Let me see. SCON. Where's the after hours at? Let me see here. Oh, shit. Okay. Okay, shit. Okay. All right. Let's not get excited here. Oh, shit. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I've said this a couple times. I got to drop the bomb for SCON, man, because that's some good shit right there. The number one mover for a stock is a government contract. A government contract is the number one catalyst you can have on the market. Number one. All right. Number one. Yes, above a FDA announcement, above a merger, above a split, above an acquisition. A government contract has, in my opinion and opinion of many traders, has consistently been a multiple day running catalyst for stocks, because we know it's guaranteed money. The money, when you win a government contract, it's yours unless you horribly fuck it up. So it's going to go to the bottom line. Yes, the first 30 minutes, I would not touch SCON the first 30 minutes. I would not touch SCON because it's just going to be insane. Unless you get it pre-market, which I don't even believe this is a stock that trades pre-market. It could. I mean, if you put in a limit order at, try and find if there is a sucker out there. In fact, I would put in a limit order right now. It closed at what? At $2? If you're going to get into the stock, I would put in a limit order right now for like $2.20. I would put in an order right now for $2.20 for, how many shares you can afford. You might get filled. You just might get filled. Now, I'm not saying, now the chances of that is very, very rare. All right, it's very, very rare, but stranger things can happen. But yes, I would wait for the pullback because you're going to get the volume tomorrow. That's not even a question. All right, that's not even a question. In fact, I want to see how legit the contract is. Let's look a little bit more into this contract. All right, let's look a little bit more into this contract. What's going on here? Let's go into this contract. What is this about? All right, this is bullshit. Oh God, can't stand that. Just get me to the news. What is this? Let's see here. Department of Energy awards $4.5 million to Semiconductor Technology Partners SCON. All right, so they've been awarded as a prime recipient of the $4.5 million that was awarded by the Department of Energy Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy on behalf of the Advanced Manufacturing Office and its Next Generation Electric Machines program. All right. Not bad. That's awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's read a little bit more into it. So that's a huge, huge deal. $4.5 million going to SCON. $4.5 million going to SCON. And if the books are up to date, let's just go see real quick where they are right now. I'm streaming live, so my connection might be a little slow on this one. Let's see here if we can go there real quick and just look at the financials. And again, Yahoo Finance, they're kind of funny on some of the numbers. But if we could look at the income statement here, so as you can see here, looking at the income statement, this is a company that definitely needs this money. Sure enough, if we look at the company, all right, gross profit was actually down 2.7 million in 2015, end of 2015. So obviously this is awesome news. Operating loss for the year was definitely almost $12 million, almost $13 million. So yeah, this company really needed that. This company really needed that. So this is one of those game changer opportunities for SCON. This is a game changer for them, man. This is a big game changer for them. SCON. I expect this to be a big gainer tomorrow. Again, I would stay out of the first 30 minutes, but I mean, if it's holding though, if you got the day chart out there and it's holding, and you know, again, a pullback is necessary. A pullback is necessary because all those orders have to be filled. People are putting in right now, but we'll see. We'll see. So SCON definitely going to be on the list, man. Definitely going to be on the list for SCON tomorrow. So that's a big deal. That is a big deal for that company, man. That company needs, gains like that. That company needs gains like that. All right. All right. Appreciate it. So let me put my list out here. Again, a lot of them from Bad Scientists, a couple ones that we looked at, a couple long opportunities there, and some penny stocks you might want to look at. Let me see here. There's another lithium stock that I thought I saw that I want to take a look at for you longs. Lithium. Let me see here. Lithium. Let me see here. LTUM. Lithium Corp. And again, some of these lithium that trade on the OTC markets, you're gonna have to do your best to make sure that these are legit lithium plays, right? And what or are they just moving in hype for lithium? Advantage Lithium, Avlife, AVLIF, Advantage Lithium, AVLIF. This is a Canadian-based lithium play. Again, you're gonna have to find out how legit some of these are. You're gonna have to go look into the books and see what these are about. Advantage Lithium. Do some research on that. I'll bring that to you guys. I'll be back on Thursday. See how lithium. I'm gonna do some research on lithium and see where we are on lithium. See where we are on lithium. All right, possible kickback bounce on NVLS. Let's see that real quick. NVLS, Novartis Therapeutics. Yeah, we love our oversold stocks. We love those oversold stocks there. Love oversold situations. I'm guessing this is a drug failure, right? Bats, was this a drug failure? Yes, it was a drug failure. Classic drug failure stock. Down there. Now the thing about it is you could see some more selling tomorrow, but so be very careful on that. Be very careful on that one. Because you could see some hemorrhaging tomorrow as well as long-term holders continue to sell, and people who didn't see it coming to continue to sell. All right. What else do we see here? PVCT. You wrote about PVCT. PVCT. Provectus Biopharmaceuticals. This was a former NASDAQ company that got delisted. Former NASDAQ company. PVCT used to trade on the NASDAQ. In fact, when I started the show, it was still on the NASDAQ. This recently got delisted to OTC market. So actually, it's actually not too bad to see it here. Although, it still maintains incredible amount of volume, even trading at 1 penny a share. 26 million shares being traded there. Looks like a lot of the shareholders came along with it. All right. What else? Michael B. IMN. 37% dang. Emation. Yeah, this is the is this the memory company? God damn, man. This is a beautiful chart, man. When did this happen? This happened pretty much yesterday or today. We saw it run yesterday. But the gain wasn't as strong. Big gain came in today. I want to see what happens with it tomorrow. Not bad. So I don't want to make it too long, but we got some good stocks tonight. A couple longs here. I would really look into what's going on with lithium and what's going on with that. Hey, what's going on, Rhea G? Yeah, it's been a long time, Rhea G. Yes, ma'am, it's been a long time. We're still chugging away, as you see. Okay, appreciate that, Mag. Let me check that out. Let me see here. There's the list. And again, for those of you guys, I'm going to put out that link. Significant DRAM reason one. Significant portion of companies' raw material finished goods are purchased from foreign companies' internal procurement operations subject to risks associated. Okay. All right. So Mag came out with two good reasons why DRAM, ticker symbol DRAM, bought U.S. gold. Okay, and I'm going to read, and I appreciate you, Mag, for this right up here. So a significant portion of the company's raw materials and finished goods are purchased from foreign manufacturers, and I'm guessing that's DRAM. So they went out and bought this company to kind of help them lower some cost here. So obviously, procurement operations, they are subject to, as you wrote up here, economic labor conditions, international trade regulations, tariffs, dumping penalties. Yeah, that is true. International terrorism, natural disasters, political instability. So it would make sense for them to go out and do that. It would make sense for them to do that. And really smart that they went out and bought an American company, right? An American gold silver play right here in America to eliminate all those threats like political instability and civil disobedience, international terrorism, and war. Who knows where they were buying their gold and silver from before. Reason two, you state, is that the company purchases and sells primarily in U.S. dollars. The company sells in a foreign currency to a limited number of customers, such as which results in them occurring some foreign currency risk, which makes sense. Yes. Okay. All right. Not bad. Not bad. So they did list $76,000 in foreign currency transaction losses, primarily as a result of the U.S. dollar strengthening against the euro. All right. Nice move. Nice move. DRAM is actively looking for diversification opportunities for more than a year, and their entry into the natural resources sector is intended to diversify risk and unlock value. That is DRAM. All right, DRAM. Interesting move. 574, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, Sal. You were talking about some bigger stocks, like higher price stocks today and options and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You might want to check the chart or the news on the recreational vehicle stocks. Those are making a move higher. Like one is THOR. I don't know things about options, but those are something you might want to look at. And then also somebody asked about Cuba. It is a higher price stock, but it's called BLX. That's basically it's like Latin America's central bank.
Okay.
And there's been articles out, since the whole Cuba thing went down in 2015, that one's going to be one that profits, that pays a pretty good dividend. That's all I got, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Hey, before you get off the line, what was that first ticker you talked about?
THOR, Thor. I mean, it's pretty high, but if somebody knows how to play options, that one's going to be moving tomorrow.
THOR. I can't find any stock on the THOR.
Thor.
Oh, Thor.
T like Tom, H, Harry, O, Orange, R. THOR. There you go.
THOR. Thor. Okay, Thor Industries?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, they're one of the largest manufacturers for recreational vehicles.
Not bad,
And
not bad. Damn, dude, $11 a share today? Shit.
Yeah, they've had a lot of. The spike might be over, but who knows? I don't know.
Right. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for the call, dude.
Yeah, one thing too, I wanted to let you know I've been watching you since you first came out, and it's been awesome to see you mature and everything over the years, and as you're learning and growing. And I might make a little video about that, post it on YouTube if you're cool with that.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Not bad at all, man. And as long as keep it clean for me, I appreciate it, man.
Oh yeah. All right, later.
Thanks a lot, dude. Yeah, man. Appreciate it, man. I really appreciate the people who've been here watching me since the beginning, man. And starting off with a fucking T-Mobile. I don't know. It was some kind of flip phone or whatever I was using, and I was using it's just been a crazy ride, man. Getting on here when I didn't know what the hell I was talking about to where I am now. I just look back and I'm just grateful, man, just by staying disciplined and loving the craft. I just found something I love, man. I appreciate you guys for watching me and loving this as much as I do. Somebody pointed out to me that I've been talking about penny stocks now. I have over 400 hours, something like that, almost 400 hours of penny stock like talk or something like that. It's insane. On YouTube, something to that extent. It's like a couple hundred hours of penny stock talk. Anyway, I appreciate you for calling, man. Thor is huge. Damn, $11 a share though. God damn, what's going on there? $11 a share. Shit. That's a huge move, man. That's a big move, even for that's a higher price stock moving like a penny stock. So going back to DRAM though for a quick second, DRAM, we got the reason. Mag 3690, appreciate it for that, man. Thank you for the call. Let me give you the definitely the kids cheer. Appreciate the moves for that. For those people who love options, appreciate them for that. Yes, indeed. THOR, nice move, man. Really strong move for the people who love options. So you got that one as well. You got those two stocks. All right, so just add in DRAM. Just add in DRAM. Add in DRAM as a possible long, man. As a possible long. We'll see what happens with that. But obviously, SCON is going to be that stock tomorrow, man. That stock tomorrow is going to be SCON. Everybody's going to be watching to see how SCON moves tomorrow. Of course, the shipping stocks as well, GLBS. Does GLBS running yesterday and today mean possible another shipper could run? Could we see Dries come back to life? Could we see a couple of these other ones? What happened to, what was that other shipping company? I was thinking it was like DCIX or something like that. Yeah, DCIX. Does that mean DCIX will come back to life tomorrow? DCIX, the bands are tightening on DCIX. That could be coming back tomorrow. That could be coming back tomorrow. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow. You know, DCIX, interesting enough, DCIX made a move today. It didn't hold it though, but it did make a move. It did make a move today, intraday move. So I would watch that today. Didn't hold the gain, still ended up in the red, but it did make a move. So DCIX looking to try to do something. Okay. We'll definitely see what happens here, guys. We'll definitely see what happens here. All right. We'll definitely see what happens. As we talked about a little earlier in the show, guys, I've gotten together with a guy, and again, we got a couple local television stations that have already, you know, they're willing to run me for an hour for like $200 between like midnight and 1, and then like on Saturdays and Sundays in the afternoon. And these are like CBS Fox stations. So I'm going to be filming an infomercial on, you know, penny stocks and, you know, the pros and cons of penny stock investing. Obviously more pros, and the gist of the ad, right, the gist of the promotion is going to be sign up for my penny stock picks. Sign up for my penny stock picks. So if you're not on the list right now, if you're not on the freestockpicks.org newsletter right now, all right, I'm telling you right now, you're going to have to pay at least $59.99 to be on the list in the future. All right, and that future is going to be very, very soon. So please get on the list now for free, because when I actually have to start, being in the black when it comes to, making sure I film and being able to pay to have my infomercial show on television, I'm going to need, my newsletter to make money, right, for me to be able to sustain myself, as I try to shoot and push this infomercial all over the country. All right, so that's really the next step. I love the online thing. The online thing is fun. I'm going to keep doing the YouTube show, but I need to go to an even bigger audience, and television is still it. So we're still going to do a lot of internet marketing. All right, we're still going to do a lot of internet marketing. Still going to reach people who love to trade and all that, but I need to find those people who don't really know about the great opportunities you can take advantage of on, OTC markets and on these cheaper NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange plays, man. So, yeah, man. So we'll see. We're moving. We're doing a little talking and stuff like that. So hopefully this comes together really soon. But $200, $300. I found out I can be in Detroit for like $700. I mean, that's great. That's a really great. That's a good price, man. That's a really good price. So I have to put all this money together. See how much this is all going to cost me. And I might run something. I might run maybe a GoFundMe or something like that. And here's the value proposition. Here's the value proposition I'm going to do. And I'm thinking about this. All right, to put this infomercial together, it's going to cost some money. Obviously, I'm going to front most of the costs, but I'm thinking about doing something where the individuals who donate at least $1,000, right? At least $1,000 plus, maybe a little higher, maybe for my premium people out there. I know you got some millionaires watching me. 10,000 plus. Every single stock pick I ever release for the rest of my life, you're going to get first dibs. You're going to get first dibs ever that we release on freestockpicks.org as we go national. All right, all over the air, because eventually that's where I want to get to. All right, eventually that's where I want to get to. So it's all coming together. It's all coming together, and but obviously, growth starts somewhere. So slowly but surely, a bird builds its nest, one branch at a time. And that's kind of what we want to do here. That's kind of what we want to do here. But I'm just trying to take a page out of the Kevin Trudeau, thing. I think what Kevin Trudeau did, obviously, what he did was he lied to people. I'm not interested in lying to people. I'm not interested in promoting garbage. I'm interested in promoting great companies with awesome, getting on air and doing it, and getting millions of people to get behind a company. Can you imagine the kind of returns we can generate? All right. It's going to be absolutely incredible, the kind of returns, the kind of money we're going to be able to make doing this. Oh, so slowly but surely, guys, it's going to come together. It's going to come together. I'm doing things here on my end. So I appreciate you guys for watching. We released that. And by the way, for those of you guys who didn't get it, that website again, for those of you guys who didn't get it, who came in late, the stock, the complete list of bank stocks, complete list of airline, food, real estate. It's all on this website right here. And I'm going to put that in the chat room. Good on the chat room. Exactly, Robbie. Exactly. That's all I want to do, dude. Exactly. All right. Topforeignstocks.com/stock-list. All right. Really great site, man. It's got the list of all the things you need right there. Whatever you're in the mood for, go straight to it. And it's pretty up to date. It's pretty up to date, man. It's pretty up to date. But the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on penny stocks, Robbie. That's the only thing. Is like these guys go on TV, they focus on, $30, $40. I'm only going to focus on stocks under $10 a share. And I swear to you, no matter how big or small I get, that is all I'll ever do, because I love these companies. I love the idea of what could happen, what could these companies could do. Yes, most of them will fail, but I love how over time we're going to watch companies that we used to talk about for 30, 40, 50 cents, one day trade on the New York Stock Exchange for, God knows how high. All right. So appreciate you guys for watching. I'll see you guys back here on Thursday. Wednesday is my day off. Thursday, same time, same place. You guys know we about 8:30ish, 8:40ish. People need to get home, relax, settle in. So I don't like to come on too early. So anywhere between 8:30, 8:45. Appreciate seeing you guys, everybody in the chat room. Who else? Rhea G. It was good to see you, Rhea G. It was really good to see you, Rhea G. What's going on, Miss Petaway? Spartan Financial was good. Travi, yes, thank you for posting up the Discord room. If you haven't already been to the Discord room is the room where before and after the show, you can watch and talk, the guys who love talking about penny stocks, man. And those guys will be more than happy to help you all night long. Tristan, appreciate it, man. Thank you. Good night, Speaker Knocker, Spartan Financial, Bat Scientist, Sinclair, appreciate it, man. Travi, this guy who's calling himself God. Glennis Smith, appreciate it. Gerardo, Dre, what's up, man? Appreciate you seeing you again. Ja Warrior, what's good, man? It had been a minute, Ja Warrior. To be or not to be, appreciate it. Thank you, man. Evil RC, Rhea G, again, thank you so much for seeing you again. Miss Petaway, the beautiful Miss Petaway, thank you again for joining us here. Mr. Arita, thank you, man. Thank you for joining me. Craig G as well. Stephen Baker, thank you. Sean Crease. All the new people, old people in the chat room, you guys know who you are. I appreciate every single one of you. Stock Diva, IP Bat, Tyson Bats. What's good, Tyson Bats? Nikhil, you guys know who you are. Dylan Jackson. New people, old people, appreciate you guys. Melissa Fulton, thank you so much for watching, Melissa. Mag, thank you, Mag, for that write-up, man. That was a great write-up, man. So now we know what's going on with DRAM. Max Trader, appreciate it. Thank you so much, Max Trader. Appreciate it. Go. Dino Mars, good night, man. Good night. See you guys later Thursday, same place, same time, ladies and gentlemen. Deuces.